Okay, magandang umaga po sa ating mga televiewers at siyempre sa ating pong mga listeners. And of course, binabati po rin natin ang ating pong audience, ika nga yung global audience natin, kuyang through of course our Facebook Live. I'm Mix Veladez Jr. of Sky Cable, and with me of course is Mr. Joseph Zambrano of the Philippine Information Agency. Kuyang, magandang umaga sa iyo.
Magandang umaga din sa iyo, partner Mix of Sky Cable and past president of the BAGUIO Correspondents and Broadcasters Club. Kapihan is brought to you by the Cordillera Association of Regional Executives, our longtime partner, our carrying station, Sky Cable, and Z Radio. Nabanggit mo, partner, we are being watched globally through Facebook Live. Like us on Facebook, Philippine Information Agency, Cordillera, and PIA Baguio. We have here also our friends from the Baguio Correspondents and Broadcasters Club, the kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas. Live po tayo. Dito, balik tayo sa Department of Health Training Center, partner.
Okay, so bago po natin umpisahan, Kuyang, kukumustahin ko lang kahapon na yung ating State of the Nation address, of course, yung pong ating Pangulo ng Pilipinas, of course, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Ikaw ba, na-struck ka ba sa kanyang sona, Kuyang?
Oo, partner. At napakaganda, very concise, short. At saka the more longer State of the Nation address will be compiled by our office, our head office, the Presidential Communications Operations Office, Under Secretary Andanal. Your thoughts on the SONA, partner?
Okay, my thoughts doon sa SONA is the pre-SONA na ginawa ng ENC, yung interview ng ENC, kasi they talked about the federalism but they touch of course yung Bangsamoro Organic Law, and most especially tinouch po nila doon yung Cordillera, yung autonomiya po natin. Doon talaga ako natuwa, hindi doon sa SONA.
Alright. Natuwa rin ako sa mga barong at mga address ng ating mga kongresista.
Okay, so medyo isang tabi po muna natin yung pong nangyari sa SONA, dahil ito nga po very special yung ating pong kapihan. So nagbabalik po tayo dito sa DOH Regional Training Center. Kuyang, kasi meron na ata tayong bahay sa kapihan pagdating sa DOT, yung Secretary's Cottage. So bumalik po tayo dito sa lumang venue natin. But anyway, so andito po lahat ng ating mga different stakeholders, of course, para pag-usapan nga po itong PNHRS Week or the Philippine National Health Research System. Dito po yan sa Regional Training Center. Kuyang?
Yes, partner, pabatihin muna natin, pakilala natin ang ating mga panauhin sa kapihan na to. Unahin natin ang aking kapitbahay sa Cruz La Trinidad Benguet, ang Assistant Regional Director ng Department of Science and Technology, si Assistant Regional Director Maria Madarang. Uweng, ang tawag namin sa kanya, Rowena. Magandang umaga.
Magandang umaga. Thank you very much, Joseph. I'm Maria Rowena C. Madarang. I'm connected with the Department of Science and Technology, Cordillera Administrative Region. And I would like to greet our friends from the media, our friends, colleagues in government and the private sector. And it's a good day to have our discussion regarding the Philippine National Health Research System Week. It's a sunny day, actually. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Rowena. At yung susunod naman po nating panelist, of course, he is the Chair, Organizing Committee of PNHRS and Chancellor, University of the Philippines, Baguio. Would like to welcome Dr. Raymundo Rovillos.
Magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Binabati ko kayo on behalf of the Cordillera Regional Health Research and Development Consortium, kung saan ako ang outgoing chairman. May bagong chairperson ngayon, si Dr. Kasipit ng DOH-CAR, pero wala siya ngayon. So on her behalf, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.
Magandang umaga, Sir RR.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. Sunod naman po natin, siya po ang Chief Research Information, Communication and Utilization Division, Philippine Council for Health Research and Development. We would like to welcome Ma'am Merlita Opeña. Ma'am, magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Thank you, Vic. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat na nakikinig dito ngayon. I'm Opeña. I'm with the Philippine Council for Health Research and Development, one of the planning councils of the Department of Science and Technology. We are based in Bicutan, Taguig, and altogether we are here to invite everyone to a national event which will be held here in Baguio on August 6 and 9, the Philippine National Health Research System Week celebration, where all the stakeholders will come together in Baguio. Thank you.
Thank you
Okay.
po.
Thank you very much, ma'am. At siyempre, isa pa po sa ating panelist, siya po ang co-chair, Cordillera Regional Health Research and Development Consortium, and of course, the Assistant Regional Director of the Department of Health. We would like to welcome Dr. Amelita Pangilinan.
Sir Migs, Sir Joseph, and to all our media partners, media practitioners, televiewers, isang maalab at malusog na pagbati ng maganda at malamig na Cordillera sa ating lahat. Cordillera month pa rin po ngayon, hanggang ngayon. And next month, we will be celebrating the Philippine National Health Research System Week. And tayo po ay mapalad na we were chosen to be the host of our summit here in Baguio. So ito na po yung aming prelude para imbitahan po kayong lahat. Thank you.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Okay, so umpisahan na natin. Kuyang Joseph, ma'am, bukod po dito sa mangyayari na activities po ng PNHRS or ito pong Philippine National Health Research System, ano po ba itong Philippine National Health Research System?
Pwedeng sagutin sana ni Ma'am Merlita Opeña, ma'am?
The Philippine National Health Research System is a convergent strategy of all the health research stakeholders in the country. We need to really work together so that health research, the results of health research will provide evidence for evidence-informed policy making and actions in the country. So we need to work together as one health research community. And within the Philippine National Health Research System, we also, with us, are the 17 regional health research consortia, corresponding to the 17 regions of the country. And the system has been in place in 2003, although we can say it's even before 2003 when the DOST and the Department of Health signed a memorandum of understanding to work together as one. And in 2007, we were joined by the Commission on Higher Education, CHED, and the University of the Philippines, Manila, National Institutes of Health. So the four pillars of the National Health Research System. And in 2007, there was a presidential proclamation 1309, which designated the second week of August as the Philippine National Health Research System Week. And then in 2013, President Aquino signed the PNHRS Act, Republic Act 10532, institutionalizing the Philippine National Health Research System. So this is really a community of health researchers and advocates and supporters of health research working together so that together our outputs will be of benefit to the Filipinos, to improve the health of the Filipinos.
Okay. Ma'am Merlita, I understand, ito pong Philippine National Health Research Institute is almost a consortium. Is it parang a consortium kasi the stakeholders, of course, are from the Department of Health. We have the academe, si Dr. nandyan po. We have, of course, ang DOST. Meron na po ba tayong parang imperative result of the PNHRS that people benefited from?
Let me just go back. The Philippine National Health Research System is basically like a community of health researchers and all people working with and for research. And you can say it is a network of networks because within the one national network, we also have 17 regional health research networks or consortia. So the individual networks at the regions. They bring together all the actors of research and generate results for the community in the regions, but also for other regions. So
What could be your latest research that you might want to let the public know? Do you have any survey or programs that your group had undertaken, Ma'am Merlita?
maybe at the national level, maybe, and then our partners in the regions can also mention what they're doing in the regions. At the national level, we would just like to anchor it on a national health research agenda. So we have a 6-year national unified health research agenda. So all the health research that we fund as a community will have to be on the topics within the agenda. So within the national health research system, like we've worked on, we have a drug discovery and development program, so working on the natural products. And right now, we built on what we have generated, like in the years before, we've transferred the technologies on Lagundi and Sambong to the
Yes.
to the household market, to the market. And then right now we're looking at telehealth, medical device like the RX box, which can be deployed in far-flung communities, especially first those who have like internet connections. But there are other programs like programs in TB, in the biomedical devices, working on the production of locally fabricated ventilators, because they are very important in the health sector, among others. So
Okay.
maybe I'd like to parang ask our partners in the regions.
Sige po, Doctor, kasi gusto lang pong linawin na, gusto ko lang pong malinawan sana kasi I do understand DOT and DOST, they have their own research also. So when does a program or an activity becomes a Philippine National Health Research System? It's ano po yung mga programa na kung saan itong mga iba't ibang ahensya ay nagsama-sama. Ano po itong mga programa na ito? Apo.
At the system level, as one community, we're looking at doing research, actual research which are aligned with the national agenda or the regional research agenda. The other major program is capacity building, meaning capacitating our national and local researchers, because right now when we look at international benchmarks, because there is a UNESCO benchmark of how many researchers and scientists per million population, I think we still have a gap of 110 per million population. So we're working on that so that we will have more researchers, more scientists in the country who are able to work in the country, not abroad, or those abroad coming back to work with us. So that's capacity building for the people. But we also are looking at institution building, like building centers of excellence in research in the academia and in the government and private research institutions. And I think what the other thing which is important is really making sure that the results of research are being used by the target audiences, whether they are the patients or they are the policymakers at the Department of Health or other departments, or the communities themselves to benefit from the information, the products or the services generated out of research.
It's really getting vital statistics for policymakers. Ma'am, before we go to Sir RR, they created Philippine Statistics Authority, merging every bureau that conducting research. But this your group, Philippine National Health Research System, is still different from Philippine Statistics Authority.
From PSA.
Yes.
Parang we are different agencies, but we are working together.
Okay.
So we have a convergence platform, which is the Philippine National Health Research System. So we're not saying that health will only come from the health sector. It will
Okay.
come from all sectors of society. So like the PSA would be more on the data. We need data from the PSA, and our researchers can access their data to generate more information which would be of use to the policymakers.
Kuyang sa PNHRS, makakakuha ka ng data. Sa PSA, medyo mahihirapan kang kuha ng data. Ano? Kailangan mag-request. Si Ma'am Rowena, may gusto idagdag.
Good morning again. In line with what Ma'am Merl was discussing about the Philippine National Health Research Week, she mentioned about 17 consortia wherein we have in each region created multi-sectoral organizations composed of the academe, government agencies or institutions, private sectors, hospitals, wherein we have 4 committees in the consortia. We have the Research Management Committee taking care of reviewing health-related or health and health-related concerns, proposals submitted, and this RMC is the one taking care of the technical review, so technical matters. We also have a Research Ethics Committee. This is tasked to review the ethical concerns, especially if we have human subjects in relation to the research proposals. And then we also have the Capacity Building Committee, wherein it is tasked to strengthen the research capacity of all the research of all our investigators in the region from the member institutions. And then in terms of disseminating the results of our researches, we have the Research Utilization Committee. They are tasked to disseminate all the results of our proposals or the results of the conducted
Who takes hold of
researches.
the result of the research first?
Okay.
Who's your client?
It's the clients. Also, the clients or the researchers are the members or the employees of the member institutions. So, in Cordillera Health Research. Cordillera Regional Health Research Development Committee Consortium, we have 19 member institutions. So we have from the academe, we have the University of the Philippines, BAGUIO. We have St. Louis University, Benguet State University, KSU, IFSU, UC, so it's a combination of private and state youth. And then we also have government institutions. We have DOST, NEDA, DOH, and CHED, and the like. PIA. And we also have our private NGOs, private organizations. So these, the members of these institutions conduct health-related researches. So ang focus po kasi ng Philippine National Health Research System is on health. So we can come up with health researches, and then yung mga results ng researches na ito, dito sa PNHRS natin, one avenue or one venue for disseminating researches. We also have here, we will be discussing here also best practices kasi these are 17 consortia. Kung ano ba yung best practices sa consortia na ito, we have to integrate with one another for us to be able to improve our health research in the country. Kasi in all the consortia, meron tayong Regional Unified Health Research Agenda. We had a consultation last May of 2017 wherein we came up with kung ano man yung mga health-related concerns natin sa Cordillera, but also aligned to the National Unified Health Research Agenda. Kaya eto yung focus.
In that light, ARD, if I may,
Opo.
yung tinanong ko rin kay Ma'am Marley, ano yung, what was your latest, what is your latest research concerning the Cordillera? And
Right.
is DOST funding this? Is the main actor here?
Okay. The Philippine Council on Health Research and Development, ano po siya? It is under the umbrella of the Department of Science and Technology.
DOST.
Kaya the funding of the consortia comes from PCHRD. Pero kasi may contribution din dito ang Department of Health. Kaya it's a partnership between the Department of Health and the Department of Science and Technology. Yung funds nila downloaded po sa consortia natin. And the funded projects for the Cordillera Health Research and Development Consortia, we have the occupational health assessment of small-scale miners in Itogon, Benguet. Second po, we have documenting local healthcare perspectives of Mountain Province. This is led by Look Foundation Incorporated, which is a member of the consortia. And then we have geographic information system-based analysis of dengue cases in Baguio City. This is led by Engineer Nathan Vincent Lubrica of the University of the Cordilleras. And then we also have a completed project, the hair mercury levels of pocket mining communities in CAR. This was led by Dr. Gaudelia Reyes of St. Louis University. And then we also have Mother's Care and Caring for Mothers, Health and Well-Being of Women in Selected Communities of Benguet in the context of climate change. This is led by Dr. Ruth Batani of the Benguet State University. And then we also have the prevalence of post-traumatic stress symptoms and the perceived quality of life of typhoon disaster in Benguet 2 years after Typhoon Pepeng. And this was a study by Dr. Beatriz Inumpa of the Baguio General Hospital and Medical Center. So basically here at the Cordillera Regional Health Research Consortia, we have 6 funded projects for Cordillera.
Cordillera pertaining of course to health research.
Health research po.
So yun po yung gusto namin kanina na talagang tanungin kung ano po yung mga key areas. Nasagot na po ni Ma'am Rowena yan. Ibabalik naman po natin siguro kay ARD Amelita. Ma'am, nabanggit ata puro health po talaga yung ano. Does the Philippine National Health Research System contributes a lot in terms of research, specifically of course yung health, doon sa nabanggit po ni Ma'am Rowena.
Yeah, as Ma'am Merl said earlier, the DOH actually is part of that network of the consortium, the Cordillera Regional Health Development Consortium, and we are co-chair actually of this network. And we are mandated to allocate 2% of our MOE for health and health-related research activities. So lahat po ng aming research proposals, even our partners, we course it through the consortium, the Cordillera Regional Health Research Development Consortium. And we also have 3 health research health project researchers. 3 positions po yan sa DOH, and sila po yung kinakapacitate namin through the consortium also so that they can also conduct their own researches. So yung sinabi nga on dengue, on maternal health, on men's reproductive health or involvement in RH, and even disasters, yun ang gusto namin sanang ma-research. Kasi we want to know, for example, yung sinabi kanina ni Ma'am Weng, yun, gusto namin malaman yung effect ng typhoon, for example, post-traumatic syndrome ng mga community after the typhoon. Para evidence-based yung interventions namin, our programs, activities, and projects are focused on the needs.
Okay.
Parang
post-traumatic. Okay, yun Ma'am Amelita, ano po yung 2% kanina?
Yun yung actually mandated by law na we should allocate. Kung baga meron din, for example, this is akin to the GAD na dapat 5% of MOE. Ito naman pag-research, 2% of our maintenance and operation expenses. Yun yung talagang naka-earmark yan for research. And we course it through the consortium.
Okay, appropriation sa 2% goes to the Philippine National Health Research System.
The Cordillera, specifically.
The Cordillera, the region. Okay, so 2%. Okay, yun, ano?
Ma'am Meli, the previous researches conducted by your group, was it helpful? Is it helpful in your implementation of programs and projects at the
Yes, of
Department
course.
Health?
But kasi parang na-strengthen lang yan in the past 2 or 3 years. So for November this year, we will be partnering with the Cordillera Regional Health Research for the conduct of our research dissemination forum on public health researches conducted in the region. Kasi parang hindi namin nagawa ito late for the longest time. So we want to invite all our health stakeholders to listen to participate in the dissemination of the health researches, and mostly conducted by the consortium.
Okay. So siguro pumunta muna tayo sa main program. Alam ko kay, sabi nga ni Kuya ng RR, no? Ba't kayo pala RR? Tinitignan ko. Si Dr. Raymundo Rovillos pala, DRR dapat, pero RR na lang. Mas maganda, no? Okay, Sir Raymond, ano po yung mangyayari? I think we'll be having, of course, this is going to be a very big program. This coming, the next month, I think it will start August 6 until hanggang 9. Doctor, please, niyo po kami doon sa programa.
Yeah, sa August 6 to 9, Baguio will be the venue, no? And the Cordillera Regional Health Research Development Consortium is hosting a big event. It happens every year. The PNHRS National Conference, week. It's an exciting week with pre-conference satellite events happening on August 6 and 7, and the conference proper will be on August 8 and 9. No? The theme of this week's celebration is Research and Innovation for Equity in Health. And it will be held, the conference, the activities will be held at CAP John Hay Trade and Cultural Center, Baguio City. You might be interested to know why we came up with the theme. No? Being host to this annual activity and being in the Cordillera region, the organizing committee thought it best to put forward the idea of equity, no? In health research and innovation, because we are in the Cordillera region, and for historically the region has been marginalized, no? In many aspects, we know that, and even including policies in relation to health, no? And programs could wittingly or unwittingly lead to marginalization of indigenous communities if they are not culturally appropriate and if they are not considering the particularities of the people here in the uplands. No? That's why we included equity, no? As a key concept in research and innovation. No? So yes, we will do research, we will produce knowledge products out of the research, but who will benefit from this knowledge? We will argue that it should benefit all, not just one region or not just one sector, but health for all.
Okay.
So that's the theme.
Doctor, let's go with the 8 and 9. I think that's the proper program, of
Yes.
the activity. Ano pong klaseng activity po ang mawi-witness po natin dyan? At ito ba ay libre po ba ito para sa ating community? Will there be any, para bang siyang expo Learnings po ba ang mangyayari po dito?
Okay. Ang key, ang highlight siguro dito ay yung magkakaroon ng mga exhibits, no, ng mga pananaliksik, no, research outputs and outcomes, no, from different consortiums all over the country. There will be a poster presentation contest. There will be exhibits of these posters on the lobby of the CAP Center. There will be booths displaying knowledge products, not just the research findings. They will be presented in a popular way, trying to de-jargonize the output so that they can be the findings, so that they can be understood by lay people like you and I. So that's one. But for the main conference, there will be presentations and panel discussions or conversations. In fact, we coined it tongtongan to make it more appropriate to the Cordillera, where we'll be talking about issues, for example, on what are the key issues on the first tongtongan, for example, which will happen on August 8, will be entitled Research and Innovation for Equity in Health, Experiences, Issues and Challenges. Okay, the keynote address will be delivered by a Baguio boy, Dr. Ernesto O. Domingo, a Ramon Magsaysay Awardee of 2013, National Scientist of the Philippines and Professor Emeritus of UP Manila College of Medicine.
Okay. So siya po ang
Keynote speaker.
speaker.
How many
Okay.
participants are we?
We are expecting 500 at the least and 800 at the maximum. This is really a well-attended activity in the past. And I think the expectations are high because, of course, this is Baguio. And we are prepared.
Okay.
I think we have something different to offer. For example, what are we contributing? So that's something new. For the first time, we are having a youth conference. One of the pre-activities happening on August 6 will be a student-led presentation of their research. Young scientists, students, or fresh graduates presenting their research findings on health and innovation.
Okay, hindi po siya open for public. Invite
By invitation and by
invitation po
registration
siya.
fee.
Okay.
But the media
can
is invited.
to cover.
Of course, you are invited.
Okay.
Sir RR, you made mention a while ago that you will be replaced by incoming chairman Katsipit. In your term as chairman, perhaps yung highlights what have you done aside from what ARD Madarang made mention, and what could have been more programs that you have accomplished, if ever?
Thank you for the opportunity to brag. Thank you lang. Now, see, the consortium in the Cordillera is relatively new. It was established in 2007. So we're all barely a decade old. I became chairman of the consortium when I became Chancellor of UP Baguio in 2012. Kasi the reason is that we are one of the pillars of the PNHRS, as mentioned earlier, UP yan, CHED, DOST, tsaka DOH. And at that time, they elected me, and I agreed to chair it, even if I'm not a medical doctor or my degree is not in the medical sciences. I understood the interdisciplinary character or nature of health. Health is has to be understood from different perspectives, including the social sciences, which is my discipline. The main accomplishments during my term is that we have institutionalized the consortium because before I came in, we were not yet really organized. It was just really a forum for people, and there was no management system yet, no institutionalized body. So we fixed the organization, and then we registered with SEC. We are the only consortium, I think, in the entire country that decided to have itself registered with Securities and Exchange Commission. So we are guided by bylaws and constitutions and our processes. So that's one major achievement, the institutionalization of the consortium. Second, we have started to build the capacity of member institutions. No? You were asking earlier about outputs and what have we done. We do have ongoing researches, as mentioned by Weng, but we have to understand that the situation in the Cordillera is that in the first place, there was a need to increase the capacity of institutions, including universities, to undertake quality research. So that's what that was the focus. No, we had to focus on capacity building. So there was a series of trainings and workshops on how to write a proposal, how to conceptualize a research problem, and how do you do research. No, basically, yun talaga yung kailangan nung panahon na ito. So I would say that now we have accomplished a lot. We have produced 6 research proposals, and mind you, it's very tedious yung process to have a proposal approved, because it has to go through a technical review, and not only that, it has to go through an ethical review. No, because the consortium and the health research system is very strong about ethical research. We wanted to make sure that researches will not harm human beings, actually and potentially, and even the environment. It should not be harmful. So that is why it's really taking gradually, the development is gradual, but I am happy to say that there are more researches now than in 2012. There are more researches completed now than in 2012, and more researches being approved at various levels than we came in. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat.
Ayun. Ayun lang. Pero marami yun, ha? Sir RR, marami po kayong nagawa. Okay. Ma'am Merlita, sige, may gusto po kayo dagdag.
I'd like to add that one thing good that they had done in the consortium is they went on a caravan, visiting institution to institution within the whole region. I think that's one of the factors which strengthened the consortium here in the Cordillera.
Okay. So, kung may mga idadagdag pa po tayo, kung wala na siguro, Kuyang, tawagin na natin yung mga kasama natin sa media para po sa kanilang katanungan. Unahin na natin si Mr. Aldwin Kitasol ng News Bites. Aldwin. And then, to be followed by Liza.
Naimbag nagsapat tayo amin. Sa PNHRS, gusto ko lang alamin kung ano yung particular na halimbawa ng isang output ng research na base sa mga recommendations from the researches ay talagang nailapat or nai-put into practice sa health services, lalo sa mga remote places, halimbawa sa interior Cordillera.
Parang on the national arena, parang we have like researches on newborn screening, which was done by Dr. Carmencita Padilla of the UP Manila and her study group. And from her research, there was a legislation passed so that the newborn screening will have to be implemented for children newly born. And that's one policy that is now implemented nationwide. Even the work of Dr. Domingo, our keynote speaker on hepatitis B, which was included as part of the expanded program on immunization on Hepa B. Then, as I mentioned earlier, our products from the medicinal plant study group, the Lagundi and the Sambong, which has been in the market since 1997 and has, I think, at least 15 takers, the companies taking the technologies to produce them themselves. And even the creation of PhilHealth was part of a research which was done by the former Undersecretary Mario Taguiwalo to create the PhilHealth from the Medicare before. So the research results can be inputted into policy, which goes into legislation, and some of them can be products and services. Some are being implemented by the doctors as part of their clinical practice guidelines. So those are some of the research results which have been at least picked up by the intended users. And now what in the program also we have a session there on bringing together all the chairs of the research communication, research utilization committees so that they are able to promote research results using social media and to be able to translate them into policies. So not only for DOH, but it can also go to DA or DNR. So those are some of the outputs that, and I think the results from the consortium can go to the communities.
Yeah, I understand the concern for looking at actual impacts and outcomes. But as I said earlier, this past decade was characterized by capacity building and trainings to build the research capacity of the region. Kasi to be honest, low talaga, mababa pa o hindi pa ganun kalakas yung ating capacity to undertake quality research in the Cordillera region. That's why that was the focus. But at any rate, we are looking at a potentially important research output, yung na-complete na hair mercury levels of packet mining communities in CAR. Kasi ito ay pinangunahan ng isang mahusay na researcher, si Dr. Gaudelia Reyes ng St. Louis University. Completed na yung research at magkakaroon tayo ng opportunity na malaman yung detalye ng research na to sa forum to disseminate it on October. But just to give you an idea, napatunayan sa research na ito na mayroong mercury contamination sa katawan ng mga taong exposed dito sa pamamagitan ng pag-aaral ng buhok, hair ng mga small-scale miners and sa pag-aaral noong chemical composition, contents o level ng mga buhok, merong contamination. At magkakaiba ang levels o degrees ng contamination depende doon sa degree ng exposure doon sa mercury. This will have policy implications on the practice of small-scale mining in the Cordillera. And of course, we will expect that the results of the findings should really alert people, especially the practitioners of small-scale mining and the policymakers to do something about it because it's really hazardous to health, na-confirm at na-validate ng pag-aaral na ito.
Yaman.
Okay.
Thank you.
Miss Liza Agoot of Philippine News Agency.
And then si Yusek Jonathan Lianes, and then Jane Cadalig.
Bago dun sa, bago kay Liza, sisingit ko lang ko yan kay Ma'am Merlita. Ma'am, meron po bang pagkakataon na inyo pong research, pwede pong lumabas? Meaning, does the research contained only in the government or a private firm can, especially of course, in terms of yung pong investment, dahil medyo mahal po yan. Pwede po bang ilabas ito at ibigay sa mga pribadong kumpanya?
Actually po, yun po ang right now kasi the government's investment is significant. What we want is the private sector also investing in research. In fact, yung total knee replacement system na isa sa mga outputs ng research natin, especially yung gustong magpa-knee replacement. This was a joint research by the DOST, PCHRD, and a private company. So it's easier because the company has a research arm, a research program, and it is also manufacturing the total knee system. And so, madaling mapunta sa merkado or sa mga taong nangangailangan ng produkto. So, yung transfer ng technology is quicker.
Okay, thank you ma'am. So Liza, pwede ka na mag-invest sa research.
Magandang umaga po. First po siguro yung gusto kong malaman kung meron po tayong mga researches on IP health practices na i-apply na ngayon or na-incorporate na doon sa ating mga tawag doon, programa ng gobyerno.
IP health.
At the national PCHRD level, we have a program, we call it Traditional Knowledge in Health. So, at least the study leader is Dr. Sid Sia from UP Manila, but he works very closely with UP Baguio for the IP, Indigenous Peoples of the Cordillera. What we do here is to document their traditional practices in health. So right now we have over maybe close to 50 indigenous and cultural communities which had been documented in several parts of the country. And one of the first partners were Dr. Castor Palaganas of UP Baguio doing the study. Okay, so we've studied about close to 50 IP communities and cultural communities all over the country. But the study is continuing. It has been started maybe about 5 years ago, and it's ongoing. What's important here is the local university does the research of the IP and cultural communities, and they are documented, and it's actually viewable in a website, tkdl.ph, and it's really to be being sensitive with what the community needs, and we work very closely with the NCIP, although it's one of the challenges to get the first and prior informed consent from the communities. And I think one of the sessions on August 8th would be on the TKDL. Assessment of the traditional knowledge documentation program, and we want to benchmark it with the recommendation of the WIPO.
Ma'am, can you give us details po dito sa research na to, yung sinasabi niyo kanina nag-conduct ng practices and involving 50 communities.
Last time that was 43, and I think that was 2 years ago.
And what kind of practices? I mean, what specific practices are we talking about po?
The researchers go to the communities, whether they can be IP communities or cultural communities, and but of course they have to get the informed consent of the community that they can do research there, and also the assurance that whatever results of the research, the community will know and will benefit from the research results. So what they do is they document yung mga traditional healing practices ng communities.
Indigenous knowledge and the practices are broad, no? It's as broad as Western knowledge. So there are different domains of knowledge. So what we have documented so far, for example, in the region, are practices on reproductive health. Yung ginawa ni Dr. Palaganas, na mention kanina, Arlene Palaganas, ng UP Baguio, they were able to publish na a book on indigenous knowledges and practices on reproductive health. And one interesting finding there, for example, is in the Cordillera, women give birth standing up, not lying down. I mean, that practice is an important finding, because in fact there should now be a need to acknowledge the advantages of giving birth standing up rather than lying down, because standing up, talaga you follow the law of gravity. And that findings, that study argues that, these are knowledges that were not acknowledged by Western medical practice, no? And there is now a need to revisit them, especially in communities that still continue to practice these birthing practices in the Cordillera. So, example lang yon. Marami pa na kaalaman sa iba't ibang aspeto: reproductive health, maternal health, of course knowledge on herbal medicines. It's a whole branch, and we have documented a lot of knowledges on medicinal plants and practices. That is why the session on August 8 is important, because it talks about the issue of intellectual property and rights. So what happens if you document an indigenous knowledge? Who has the right for it? Who has the right for patents over it? So these are the controversial issues that we will tackle on August 8. Okay.
And if I may share, during the Among for Health conducted by our office last 2 months ago, we shared the IP-friendly health facility, birthing facility, and this was based on the researches done by Ma'am Castor Palaganas, the knowledge, attitudes, and practices related to birthing. So we know that, they don't want to lie in a lithotomy position. They want either squatting or standing up, holding to a rope or a pole, a tree, a bark of yung parang tree, branch of a tree. And then we actually included the DAP-I because they bring their family, their animals with them. No, kasi ayaw nilang hindi sila mapakali kung wala daw mag-aalaga sa kanilang mga baboy, manok. Kasama na rin yun na they will butcher para sa pagkain ng anak. So we follow the standards of the DOH regarding birthing facilities, but we also factored in the culture of the Cordillera.
So there is recognition now.
Yeah.
In other words, what ARD says, that there is now an increasing acknowledgement and recognition of indigenous practices, whereas in the past, most of them were dismissed as unscientific. Now there is increasing recognition of the value of these practices.
Kasi di ba, sir, kapag meron, halimbawa nagkakasakit, dinala na sa doktor, wala nangyari, meron na yung ipartian tayo. Di ba? Lalabas na yon eh. Magkakatay na ng hayop, tapos merong mga offerings. Sir, is there a study related to that? Na talagang nakakatulong siya or nakakagamot? And do we really recognize it in as far as Western medicine is concerned?
I've participated in a research documenting indigenous knowledge myself, documenting indigenous knowledge of people in Barlig, Mountain Province. So I've been exposed to the literature on this, not only nationally, but internationally. But what I know about rituals is that they can help heal a person socio-psychologically. We may still have to explore into the physiological dimensions of this, but one thing sure, kasi maski naman hindi indigenous, di ba? Kung may sakit ka at ikaw ay napalibutan ng pamilya mo at sinusuportahan ka at pinagdadasal ka, di ba nakakalakas ng loob yon? Lalo-lalo na kung tutulungan ka ng mga spirito mo, ng mga ninuno mo, na nandyan lang sila para gabayan ka maski naghihirap ka. That itself helps in the healing process. That much I can say as a social scientist.
Okay, sir, gusto ko pa sanang
Alam ko yun. Kasi ang mga ninuno daw natin noon, hindi masyadong kumakain kasi yan ng karne. So, kung may sakit, this is an opportune time to butcher pigs. Eh yun yung source ng protein. In other words, para maging, parang medicinal na rin yan, yung balanced na diet. Noon kasi parang they were more on carbs, on non-animal proteins. It will be a source para ma-nourish yung body mo to fight yung mga ailments, viruses, and so it was more on the nourishment of the physical body also. Yung magparty sila ng baboy, manok, these are proteins, animal protein sources, and we know that it will also help in the healing process.
So, ibig sabihin nun, kailangan talagang pag-aralan din yung batayan nung katutubong kaalaman sa konteksto ng kultura nito. No? Pero pwede rin nating patunayan ang scientific basis nung practice na ito. Okay? And these are two areas of research. Understanding practice in the context of culture itself. Nobody will validate the knowledge except the people themselves through practice, through trial and error, like the scientists. No? But we can also explore the scientific, biophysical aspects of this practice. For example, again, in Ifugao, there's this practice na when somebody is ill, there's a ritual, Betabumbaki, and there's this choosing or passing of betel nut. Yung agngangada, di ba? Santo ipasa da DJ mama. Ipasa da mama from one mouth of the member to another. Now, you will say, ano yun? But if you have to explore, no, the basis of that. Maybe that solidarity itself is healing, the support, that's the psychosocial aspect of it. But you can also look at the chemical aspect of it. Anong meron sa mama na pwedeng nakakatulong sa healing? Meron ba siya analgesic? Meron bang ganon? Ma'am, could be that there is an analgesic component of the mama that can help ease the pain, no, of the person. Meron. So tama, okay.
Mama Amelita, naniniwala po ba kayo? Kasi
Yeah,
siyempre,
actually,
DOH
I
po yan.
tried the mama. So, nagbo-burn pala yan sa bibig mo. It will numb yung nerves. Kaya pala sabi ko yung mga may toothache. Talagang I tried, I got from yung partner namin na LGU na nagmamama. Gawan mo nga ako ng mama. So, talagang ang init. Yung burning sensation and kaya pala kayo nagmamama because yung yun naman, I tried it. If I did not try, hindi ko talaga alam, but I was very curious also about that, mama. Isa pa sa research sa health kasi, meron kasing mga nakita kami na based din sa mga readings namin sa ginawa ni na Ma'am Caster, meron yung mga beneficial and harmful na IP practices like yung sa umbilical stump, they put kasi ash. Di ba? Hindi dapat kasi baka matetanus. Yun naman, yun ang dinidiscourage namin na sa mga, wala naman nang nagagawa. At saka yung pag-circumcise, they use the bamboo na kung minsan hindi rin alam na kung saan galing yung, kung malinis ba yung bamboo, to cut the, yung skin, yung foreskin. So, there are harmful IP practices that the DOH discourages, parang ganun. So, pati yung sa, marami, na-cite kami dyan yung tandok. Pag kinagat ka ng aso, hindi po yun, nakita natin na wala naman yun talagang benefit, so we still tell them to go to the nearest health center for the vaccination para
Okay. Maraming salamat po. Balikan ko lang sana yung sa question kanina yung issue kanina dun sa ethics. Kasi I know for a fact, ethics. I know for a fact that there were studies conducted in the past at the tawag doon mga farming communities dito sa areas ng Benguet. But these studies never came out because they were done by private funders who hindi ko alam kung ano yung correct word, basta private funders sila na gusto nilang malaman kung ano ba talaga. Pero tawag doon, kapag ganito po ba, are they required to submit it? Sabi niyo nga kanina na you're also encouraging the private sector to engage or to invest in researches. Paano natin ma-segregate yung part na tawag doon yung interest nila, yung private interest ng certain individuals or groups or companies would not affect the result and yung lalabas talaga yung result na mapapakinabangan natin.
Yeah, in fact, meron ng mga batas no, na mag-i-ensure na mangyayari yan, na merong maibabalik sa komunidad yung findings at may benepisyo ang komunidad. Isa dyan, halimbawa, meron tayong IPRA law na merong free prior informed consent na hindi na basta-basta makakapunta ngayon ang mga researchers, public or private sa community. Kailangan prior consent. Tapos dapat bago ibigay ng consent yung community, ng community, yung consent nila, parang may kontrata kung paano mangyayari doon sa knowledge, how will they benefit from that. So there is also the anti-bioprospecting law, no? Ibig sabihin na hindi ka na pwedeng pupunta sa Mount Pulag, kukuha ng species doon at ilalabas mo sa bansa na meron palang medicinal value yon. May clearance ka dapat sa National Museum, meron kang clearance sa community mismo. So these are safeguard mechanisms already in place to make sure that knowledge coming from the indigenous communities are not misappropriated without their participation. So it's up to us and the communities how to really take advantage of these legal instruments. Kasi alam naman natin all the stories about how knowledge was gathered from them, hindi na bumalik, yung pala kumita na ng milyon yung company, multinational company. Hindi na ganun kadali ngayon, no? Kasi marami ng batas.
Maraming salamat po.
Okay, thank you, Liza. Tuwagan naman natin si Jonathan Llanes ng Sunstar. Then, to be followed by Jane Cadalig of Midland.
Morning, Jonathan.
Morning, Joseph and Mix. Sir, or siguro kay Dr. Meli. During the process of research, meron bang lumabas doon na yung parang ito yung matagal na nating hinahanap na answer pero natalisod natin, dito lumabas yung resulta. Parang kumbaga dito tayo nagre-research pero lumabas dito. Meron ho ba tayong na-encounter na gano'n na yung unexpectedly the research that we were looking for this one came out on this one? Meron ho bang lumabas na gano'n?
I think ano naman yan, it happens a lot, no, na yung research objectives mo, research findings mo, mayroon ka nang nakaset sa simula, pero nung nasa field ka na, mas marami ka pang malalaman na interesting din. O kaya, maaring mabago o manalify yung hypothesis mo, di ba? Yung original na guess mo, which is a hypothesis is an educated guess, di ba? But like any other research, your hypothesis o yung iniisip mo sa simula ay maaaring mabago dahil sa nalaman mo. O maaari rin may makita kang kakaiba o ibang kaalaman na hindi, wala sa original na plano mo. Nangyayari yon madalas, no? Halimbawa, example na naman sa amin noon, nung kami ay naghahanap ng indigenous knowledge at practices ng mga katutubo sa Barlig, may minention sila doon na yung kanilang katutubong kaalaman daw ay merong yung paggamit nila noong charcoal na they pound it into poultice and then they into powder. They pulverize the charcoal and they drink it as a medicine for stomach ache, the diarrhea, di ba? Alam ni Dexter C. yun. So sabi namin, ay kasabdo ngayon nga nagrugi dayta, idi pay lang badamdamo, idi pay lang since time immemorial. Haan in-introduce dayta ti may isang Amerikano. See? So, kami mayroong preconceived notion na pag indigenous knowledge noong sinaunang panahon, since time immemorial. But wow, to our surprise, there's this practice that's not really pre-colonial or time immemorial, but people there consider this as their indigenous knowledge because they've accommodated it and they've practiced it and it works for them. This brings us to a definition of indigenous knowledge, which is something, by the way, that's still indigenous knowledge. Just because it was introduced by an American missionary doesn't mean that it's not knowledge that is local or indigenous. Because knowledge is something that is both inherent and external but has become localized, inangkin, inangkop ng mga tutubo, baging bahagi ng kanilang mas malawak na kaalaman. So nabago aming pananaw. Kasi kami noon, we were looking for the pristine, for the pure indigenous, not introduced by anything outside the world. But that changed us. That changed our theoretical framework about what is indigenous knowledge.
Sir, of the researches that have been made, ano po yung pinaka-beneficial ngayon na natatamo para sa Cordillera region amongst the researches done, which is now benefiting the Cordillera region? Yung specific na...
I think nationally, I think we have to understand, for example, that the PhilHealth program, which is a program that will, it's a health for all program. I'm sure you will agree with me na nagbe-benefit naman tayo lahat dyan. May mga pagkukulang, pero ako, I would say, it benefits especially the poor. No? This program is a result of research about the absence of a research or health system in the Philippines, at saka yung inequity noong health para sa mga mamamayan. So dahil dun sa mga pag-aaral na ito, hindi lang one-time na pag-aaral, pero a body of work, it's informed the policymakers about the need to legislate a health program like PhilHealth. No? Yung isa dyan, yung binabanggit kanina ni Ma'am Merl na yung prenatal newborn screening. No? Research yan ng Chancellor ngayon ng UP Manila, si Chancellor Padilla. Pero anong impact nito? Nalalaman ko ano yung posibleng maging sakit ng baby sa pre-screening pa lang para may preventive approach ka na paano para hindi mag-develop into a disease, no, yung nakikita nila doon sa prenatal testing. So yun, these are university-based researches na naging policy, batay doon nagkaroon ng policy at nakikinabang maraming mamamayan kasama dito, kasama ang Cordillera. John.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. Ms. Jane Kadalig ng Midland, to be followed by Dexter C.
Good morning po. My question is on the betel nut chewing. Na-mention na rin kanina, sir. Sir, kasi the betel nut chewing is a practice by the Ifugaos. Parang inadapt lang sa Mountain Province. Yung mga taga Mountain Province are into that practice. Hindi naman dati ganun yun eh. How much research has been done on betel nut chewing to hindi naman to discourage or to at least explain to those who are chewing mama na yun nga na may disadvantage, aside of course from sanitary considerations, kasi ang dami ng LGUs na nagpapas ng ordinances banning mama spitting.
Actually, meron tayong researches na ginawa dyan, but I don't have the paper now, na it causes oral cancer because siyempre mag-oral cancer kapag you will introduce heat doon sa mucosa ng mouth, di ba? you are disturbing the parang the natural environment inside the oral cavity. Di ba? Ganun naman ang causes ng ano. Kaya nagkakaroon ng atypia or the abnormal formation of cells causing cancer. So anything naman na parang foreign body that you will introduce inside, it will cause a reaction and it will cause a disturbance in the normal flora or the normal environment.
Doc, yung participants ba are the locals, those who are parang agmamama ba?
Actually, more on sa foreign ang nakita ko nito, mga Africa, mga...
Sa local, ma'am, wala pang intensive
Wala
or
pa
extensive
akong-
research
wala pa.
para ma-associate. Kasi
Sa
sabi
CAR.
nga natin, evidence-based, hanggat
Oo.
hindi natin sinasabi na mas maraming Ifugao or mas maraming Kalinga
Oo.
or mas maraming...
Actually, halos lahat na ng provinces CAR nagmamama na. Hindi doon nung maliit ako, it was only Ifugao ang alam kong basta mamayan But now, even in Mountain Province in Bontoc, yeah.
Yun nga, ma'am, nagiging popular siya. Wala bang, on your end, wala bang para malaman natin bakit siya naging popular? Hindi naman dati na nagngananga, pero...
Siguro yan yung isang i-research ng consortium kasi talagang wala kaming yung local
ma'am,
research.
kasi the lack of data na nagsabing mas maraming
Hindi,
Ifugao ang
una-una,
may oral
this
cancer.
This is historical data kasi I'm a historian. Una-una, it's not correct to say that the practice of mama is recent or it's becoming popular. In fact, it has always been a general popular practice long before colonization. Kaya nga nababanggit kanina dito nung kaibigan natin sa Pangasinan, and I know that, hanggang ngayon may nagmamama, and that is not a recent phenomenon. It has been a practice as far as they can remember. In fact, mama betel nut chewing is a common practice across the Asia-Pacific region. No? It's not just Ifugao or Kalinga. No? Katutubong practice yan ng mga Pilipino na nabago lang through time. Okay?
Okay po, salamat. My other question is, are there, as part of the research, are we also looking into conducting a research on the medicinal values of some plants that are indigenous to the Cordillera? Kasama ba ito dun sa, naka-align ba sa PNHRS, yung ganitong mga researches?
Not only dun sa Philippine National Health Research System, in the consortium sa ating Cordillera Health Research Consortia, we encourage our researchers to do researches on our indigenous plants. Kasi ang isang focus ng ating research is sa drug discovery. So marami tayong plants dito sa Cordillera na when we conduct the research, magkakaroon tayo ng mga discoveries on whatever drugs that could be made available to the public. And we are going through that. And yun yung isang focus ng health research system natin.
May mga plants na po ba tayong initially, or have we identified plants that have medicinal values?
There's been a seminal work on this by Leonard Ko, the late Leonard Ko, who's a botanist. He published a book with CHEST-COR, an NGO in the Cordillera, called Medicinal Plants in the Cordillera. It's a classic book. Unfortunately, it ran out of print again. But you might want to Google that. But it's doon dinocument niya yung maraming mga plants sa Cordillera region at ano yung kanilang advantages at disadvantages at benefits. doon sa libro na to. At up to now, it continues to be a basic reference for our researchers. Yung research on medicinal plants is a priority, not only in the Cordillera Consortium but also nationwide. No? Halimbawa, in UP, may mga researchers, yung mga faculty namin, na mga botanists, pinag-aaralan yung, kinukuha yung assay nung mga, parang ina-extract, no, yung kinakatas nila yung mga dahon-dahon dyan. Tapos titingnan nila ano yung mga chemical content ng bawat dahon, and then they will look at the potential, the medical potentials, no, of these plants. So it's a priority of the DOST, of the consortium, and the universities.
Ano lang, makulit kasi tong katabi ko. Kasama po ba dito yung pinagbabawal ng PIDEA? Is it included in the research?
Well, dun sa libro ni Leonard ko, walang ganon.
Okay po, thank you.
Gusto mong bumili ng libro, Jane? Ayan. Pati ka na, Jake, marapait, numabalin. Okay, so Dexter C.
Sir, follow-up doon sa question ni Jean. Marijuana kasi yung sinasabi niya. Is the consortium contemplating on doing a study on the medicinal benefits of locally produced marijuana? Because according to experts, according to Alvin, the marijuana produced in Benguet is considered to be high-grade, first class, while those grown in other areas are somewhat belong to the lower class.
Actually, wala pong move ang DOH to legalize the use of medicinal marijuana. So, pinag-uusapan pa lang yan for cancers and terminal cases, no, of cancer and pain relief.
Yes.
So, actually, siyempre yung aming research kasi is in line with the RURA, yung sinabi kanina, wala pa ho yun sa ating RURA.
Ma'am, but don't you think it's high time we do research? We heard we learned about several individuals with terminal cancer who underwent medication through marijuana, but when the supply was cut, they eventually went to the other side of the nataydan. So it's even an official of a line agency, I understand.
Yes.
So don't you think it's high time that let's put a close to this issue?
Yes, Dexter, that could be an avenue for another research. We have been hearing information that US has been using this for cancer patients. And of course, since this is not legal in the Philippines, that's why we are not conducting researches on that. But that could be an eye-opener for us because although it's not legal in the Philippines, but it may have contents that would really counter the effects of cancer, then this could be one issue where our researchers could focus on. So we will be introducing this. Thank you, Dexter, for opening that avenue. So we will be introducing this to our researchers kung baka nga pwede ngang gawin. Kasi baka nga mayroon mga medicinal aspects dun sa marijuana. Kaya lang kasi talagang illegal siya dito sa Philippines. Yun, we will be having the meeting sa consortia and introduce this aspect to our researchers.
Thank you, ma'am. Hopefully it will also help in formulating a possible legislation in the future. Anyway, how are we able to reconcile the conflict between the traditional knowledge on health and our scientifically proven health methods? this, how are we going to, how are we able to marry these ones?
We adopted the beneficial ones and the harmful ones that we know based on scientific research. We do not adopt them or we do not include them in the policy. So a case in point nga is yung aming IP-friendly birthing facilities. Nag-ikabil kami EJT rope, nag-ikabil kami EJT pasla mattress because they want to squat, and more roomy spaces for the family members para the husband to support the wife while in labor, and the other members of the family outside to watch over their children, the younger children, and some of their pets, their animals. Parang ganon. So it's part of actually our traditional healthcare system. So we have actually the 10 halamang gamot. It was researched extensively by PTAC, yung ating Philippine Institute of Traditional Healthcare and Alternative Healthcare. And then we have the acupuncture, yung mga other forms of yung mga gis-gis-o, yun, ginagawa yun sa mga massage. So we know the effects of this. So these were the ones that were mainstreamed in our traditional and alternative healthcare.
How were we able to convince our elders that the harmful practices are really hazardous to the health of the individuals when it's an age-old proven practice?
Yeah, I think it was also through education. Their children, their apos went to school and they were taught about the harmful effects of that practice. So, tapos unti-unti naman namamatay na yung elders. Wala nang hand over yung knowledge na yun. So, parang nawala na rin na it died a natural death.
Ma'am, do you think we have still more IP practices that we need to discover? And
Yes, that's why we are actually documenting them through the consortium. We are encouraging our students, our academicians, to come up with IP practices para ma-document. After Dr. Ryan Gineran is our consultant going around the provinces, documenting yung mga IP practices.
It's our gift to the elders, parang ganun, and which could be passed on to generations. Is the consortium contemplating on coming out with a compendium relative thereto?
Yes, actually yan ang isang project din namin through the help of Dr. Ryan Gineran and of course the consortium. Yan yung mga gusto natin mapondohan through the augmentation that we give to the consortium. Gusto namin na ito yung mga type of researches na magawa.
If you are at liberty to divulge, may we inquire on how much does the consortium get annually for the researches, and how are we
From DOH, sir? Dexter?
all.
Oo, actually we just started. Last 2016 we only gave 1 million. Then in 2017, 3 million. So we cannot download the 2018 not unless the 3 million will be liquidated. So parang ganun.
So for 2018, how much is allocated no?
Magkano ba yun? Basta meron din kami, Sir Dexter, but we cannot, I do not remember the amount. But we can only download that if the 3 million that was previously downloaded will be liquidated.
Based on the trend, it's increasing the funding. So it means you are in need of more researchers to
Yes, that's why we encourage our students who are having their researches, no, yung their thesis, even the teachers, to get in touch with the consortium, especially for health researches.
Sige, Ma'am Rowena.
In addition, Dexter, dun sa funding kasi, yung sinasabi ni Doktora is the DOH-CAR fund, which was downloaded to the consortia. But on top of that, PCHRD is also downloading funds to us. As to the operational funding, meron tayong mga more or less 2 million. Pero dun sa submission ng researches, depende yan sa proposal. So if this proposal is approved, pwedeng ida-download din ni PCHRD yung funds na yon. So we can go as high as 500, 1 million, depending on the proposal of the researcher. Kaya ito, medyo sabi nga ni Sir RR kanina, medyo tedious yung ating evaluation because these are researches that are very important. Kasi mahal din eh. Kaya 500,000 i-evaluate ng consortia, more than 500,000 doon na sa PCHRD with the help of external evaluators. Kaya operational and research funds plus yung DOH-CAR fund. So we have a lot of funds. That's why we are encouraging our researchers to do more researches for the Cordillera.
Ma'am, with the cash-based budgeting of the government, wherein all funds not spent within the year will revert back to the general fund, will our projects be affected with this? Our researches, our
Yes, we will be affected. That's why our projects now, we are like programming the cash so that we release only what can be spent by December. So practice na nga yung year 2018 kasi 2019 talaga yung
Yeah.
full implementation.
Yes, ma'am. Anyway, if you are able to obligate the funds within the year, you can request for an extension of 3 months. Daw.
Dexter, that is only for 2018.
2018, yes.
Yung 3 months na yon, that is dapat obligated na yung pera, yung budget, tapos i-spend mo lang, i-disburse mo from January to March. But that is only for 2018. 2019,
Wala na.
full implementation, cash-based budgeting. That's why we are focusing our how we utilize our funds based on the disbursement. Hindi na siya obligation. Kasi ang obligation parang nire-reserve mo lang. But kaya yung gagawin natin for us not to be returning the funds, we do our research by phase. Kaya kung ano yung pwedeng gawin lang within the year, yun lang yung pera na i-request natin for downloading. Tapos by next phase, next year, kung ano yung activities for that year, yun din lang ang i-request natin. Otherwise, mahihirapan talaga tayo. Ang hirap bumalik, magbalik ng pera.
Will hindi ba maapektuhan yung quality of the researches with the mode of expenditures required by the government?
Yes. Dexter, may possibility na ganun. That's why siguro pag natapos natin yung first phase, kailangan natin mag-liquidate, di ba? Liquidate agad.
Yes.
Para continuous yung ating reservation of funds for downloading para hindi ma-affect. We will see to it. Mahirap man sabihin kasi we are initial implementation ng cash-based budgeting. Kaya parang inaaral pa natin how we will go about this. But hopefully, we know for a fact na talagang it will affect, pero hopefully, sana minimal. We will be working this out with PCHRD para hindi natin maranasan yung parang matenga yung research. Kasi that will be the problem once magkakaroon tayo ng financial yung transition ba natin from obligation budgeting to cash-based budgeting.
Thank you, ma'am. Back to you, Migs.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Dexter C. Pero maganda, no? It's very, napakaganda rin mga tanong ni Dexter, Mapupuno na naman yung dyaryo niyan.
Partner, kay Ma'am Weng, what are the lined up research proposals and how do you screen them?
Actually, yung mga na-mention kanina are the lined up research proposals na kasi yung na-enumerate kanina are either completed or ongoing. Kaya may mga ongoing kami na 3, tapos yung 3 rin completed. So yung ongoing namin ngayon are the occupational health assessment of small-scale miners in Itogon, Benguet. Yung
Sino ang proponent doon?
ang proponent doon is si Dr. Eleanor Soriano and Miss Joanne Giliao of the Look Foundation Incorporated. Masyadong active si Look Foundation. Actually,
Magkano ang binigay niyo doon?
we are setting aside 500,000. And then we also have documenting local health care perspectives of Mountain Province. That is also from Look Foundation, si Ma'am Marian Sanchez and Dr. Castor Palaganas of UP Baguio. We are setting aside 500,000 also. These 2 are DOH funded researches. Yun yung mga part ng na-download ng DOH-CAR sa atin. And then we also have the Geographic Information System-based analysis of dengue cases in Baguio City by UC, si Engineer Nathaniel Lubrica, more or less 500,000 din, and it is being funded by PCHRD.
Do you have a timeline?
Meron-
Because I heard that the first Kapihan ata na we had or recently lang yan.
Recently
recent.
lang, may timeline, may schedule of activities din naman tayo dito. Kaya meron siyang by phase nga. So, hopefully, matatapos na rin natin ito with the help of our with the help of yung RMC natin for the technical review and the REC for the ethical review.
Okay. Magbibigay na ng proposal si Dexter C. Yan.
Siguro kay balikan natin si Ma'am Weng, o kaya bago natin kunin yung closing statements ng ating mga panelists. Kay Ma'am Merlita, tapos siguro sunod na natin kay ARD. Meron po ba tayong mga priority research that we think ngayon pong panahon, kailangan po talaga natin bigyan ng atensyon? Meron po ba tayong research, Ma'am Merlita, na kailangan po natin bigyan ng something that is an urgent or an attention na kailangan na po nating gawin?
Yung research priorities po, nakapaloob po siya sa National Unified Health Research Agenda, and a good input, substantial input came from the Department of Health. Kasi sila po talaga yung alam nila kung ano yung gaps in terms of evidence na from research na kailangan. So kung napaloob doon sa National Unified Health Research Agenda or nasa Regional Research Agenda, yun po, priorities talaga yan na went with the consultations, bottom-up consultations. Pasaan doon siya sa agenda, yun ay priority.
Sa Cordillera kasi
Yes, Ma'am
we
May.
have 15 regional health research priorities.
Okay.
If I may enumerate. We have number 1, health service delivery and information systems. And then we also have indigenous people's health. Third, disaster risk reduction management for health and climate change adaptation. Fourth, health policy, research and governance. And then sexuality and reproductive health, maternal, neonatal and child health, human resources for health, food and nutrition, alternative and traditional medicine, non-communicable diseases, financial risk protection, health, urbanization, industrialization and environment, drug discovery and development, communicable diseases, and health and well-being of vulnerable groups. So these are 15 in all, na yan yung magiging focus ng ating researches in the Cordillera. Consultation has been made in May of 2017 from various groups.
Okay. Si ARD, si Dr. Ma'am Amelita, dengue of course is nandun sa part of the priority, no? Yun sa dengue. Kasi ang dengue po ngayon, hindi na po siya seasonal. It becomes a whole year round na po. Do you have any kind of research or interventions na makikita muna natin na dapat talaga tutukan po itong research sa dengue? Ma'am.
May mga program managers po namin sa dengue, sina Sol, Dr. Marrero, they are actually using interventions na based sa research. Like, sa national po, like yung use of long-lasting insecticide-treated bed nets, no? Na ginagawa rin na curtain sa school na nakafix sa windows para hindi pumasok ang dengue-carrying mosquito na Aedes aegypti. And the covering of drums, sanay po tayo dito sa Baguio and other parts of CAR na nag-iimbak ng tubig. Hindi natin alam, magandang breeding site of mosquito yan kasi gustong-gusto ng Aedes yung malinis na tubig. So what we did is we followed a research finding na we can cover actually our drums, malilit ang butas na net para hindi pumasok yung lamok at mag-itlog doon, then mag-hatch, magiging adult mosquito ulit. So all of our interventions and the DOST intervention na yung yung
Parang gadget.
hindi siya
ba yan?
gadget,
Or
yung very
parang-
simple lang na larvicidal
Okay.
OL trap
Larvae.
o OV larvicidal trap. Parang meron siyang insecticide na dark containers na doon pwedeng ma-attract yung lamok pero mamamatay siya dahil may larvicide. OV trap. Parang yung trap ng lamok. Yung mga ganon. So, actually, all the interventions being used by the DOH is based on research. Kasi, yun nga, maganda nga yung knowledge is power. So, these are knowledge materials that we adapted in implementing our programs, public health programs.
Okay.
So, yun ang part ng dengue po. Maraming mga resulta ng pananaliksik.
At patuloy pa rin po,
At naging pulisiya na po yan ng programa at yun po ang ginagawa ng mga health workers din natin sa baba.
Okay. Thank you, Doktora.
Okay, partner, we'll
Okay.
get the parting messages of our panelists. We'll start already with Dr. Amelita Pangilinan, our Assistant Regional Director. But before your parting message, ma'am, anong dapat gawin, tag-ulan, to keep everybody healthy, stay healthy?
Okay, the rains have come. We have witnessed the non-stop monsoon rains. So, ibig sabihin nito, marami na naman vector-borne diseases like dengue, chikungunya. Based on our surveillance report, yun ang mga nag-increase. And including leptospirosis dun sa mga flood-prone areas, low-lying areas, sa Abra, etc. So, please, we remind each and every one to be vigilant. Yung search and destroy breeding sites of mosquitoes. You have enough sleep and the usual na sinasabi namin, keep yourself healthy by eating nutritious, well-balanced food. Yung pinggang Pinoy, 70% na vegetables and fruits and lots of fluids. Para hindi kayo kapitan ng mga sakit na pwede naman yung katawan din ang lalaban doon, no? The self-limiting na sinasabi.
Okay, thank you very much. Ma'am, isang na lang. Ano po ang magiging role po ng DOT dito, I'm sorry, ang DOH po dito sa programa po na mangyayari sa Kapihan?
Okay, so kami po ay tutulong din, members din ang aming mga kasamahan sa mga committees, like yung may emergency, yung first aid booth, tapos meron din members sa documentation, registration. So, and they are actually in constant parang contact or meeting with our organizing committee, PCHRD, and the Cordillera Regional Health Research.
Okay, so miyembro po ng TWG, no, yung Technical Working Group. Okay? Sunod naman po natin ang Consortium Director po ng Cordillera Regional Health Research, si ARD Maria Rowena Madarang.
Okay, thank you very much. May I take this opportunity to promote the PNHRS week? This is on August 6 to 9. But since medyo nasabi na kung ano yung main agenda ng 8 and 9, maybe I will just go through yung August 6 and 7, which the sessions here are also very important. Meron tayong 14th National Medical Writing Workshop and 7th Write Shop for Young Researchers. And then we have the technical evaluation of the disaster risk reduction, climate change adaptation proposals. We also have, as mentioned a while back by Sir RR, yung preparing young researchers for social innovations in health forum, wherein dito ang magiging participants natin are our senior high and then yung first and second college students. And then we also have consultation on clinical trials regulation guidelines. We have, as part of yung ating translating research into policy, wherein yung Aurora awardees natin will be presenting their researches para this will encourage also our researchers to focus their researches on something that will be translated into policies. So that is on top of the committee meetings or sessions that we will be having on August 6 and 7. Again, the 12th PNHRS week will be here in Baguio City Cup Center dito sa Camp John Hay, and we hope to see everyone. Thank you po.
Thank you very much, ARD Rowena. Sunod naman po natin ang Chairman and the Organizing Committee for PNHRS and Chancellor, University of the Philippines, Baguio, Dr. Raymundo Rovillos.
Ang gusto ko lang pasalamatan lahat ng mga partners, members ng consortium, kasi nakakatuwa na nakikita natin lahat ng universities ng Baguio at ng Cordillera na ang mga regional government agencies like DOST, DOH, ang Baguio General Hospital, ay nagsasama-sama sa mga iba-ibang committees, from food to exhibits to program to ways and means, working together, collaborating and partnering to have a successful event. And this is exactly the practice that we want to pursue, not only during the conference, but before and after the conference, because given the magnitude and the complexity of our problems today, we need to partner and collaborate. Hindi na pwede yung kanya-kanya at nagkokompetensya lang tayo. We can still compete, but we can collaborate. And the more we collaborate, we become better institutions and individuals.
Thank you po. Nabanggit ni Sir RR kanina yung Health for All. Nabanggit din ni President Duterte sa kanyang SONA, Health for All. Ayun. At saka hihirit ako sa marijuana, si Regional Advisory Council Peter Ray Bautista ng Pro Cordillera is also requesting if DOH, during our last Kapihan, if there's really a survey or a study on that marijuana, medicinal marijuana. Okay, moving on, partner.
Okay, siyempre, of course, last but not the least, siya po ang Chief Research Information Communication and Utilization Division, Philippine Council for Health Research and Development, si Ma'am Merlita Opeña.
I would like to reiterate our invitation to the Philippine National Health Research System Week celebration on August 6 to 9 here in Baguio. This is the 12th PNHRS Week celebration, and we are pleased, especially with the our Cordillera Consortium hosting this, that the program itself, the way it was developed was a collaborative program. It's not a top-down program. It's collaborative, and we're happy with that. And this national event is really a platform for information sharing, so that the researchers will have opportunity to share with the community what they are doing, what will benefit the communities that we need to serve, and the media is an important partner in this event, not only in this event, but in the work of the health research system. We wish that the media will be engaged with our researchers and other partners, and vice versa, our researchers will be talking with the media, not to be afraid with the media, but to work with them so that the results of their research will benefit the health of the Filipinos.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you for bringing the convention here in Baguio City, in the Cordilleras.
Okay, so we'll see you there, ma'am. So, sa ating mga kasamahan sa media, please do participate in the 12th Philippine National Health Research System. Ito po yung Research and Innovation for Equity in Health. Kuyang?
Maraming salamat sa ating mga panelists, sa ating mga kasamahan sa media, at saka sa mga nanood at nakinig dito sa Kapihan. Until next Kapihan, ako po si Joseph Sambran ng Philippine Information Agency. Magandang tanghali sa ating lahat.